If you feel like bipolar completely changed your life and you don't know how to rebuild it, this is for you. Rebuilding feels overwhelming, slow, and emotionally exhausting. You're feeling like you're behind in life and you're constantly comparing your old self versus your current self. And you have this internal thought, will I ever feel normal again? And you're left wanting your fucking confidence back, your structure back, and your momentum back. You're grieving your old self. It's like you're missing your old confidence, your old energy. I feel that way sometimes too. I was so confident. I had so much energy back when I, I didn't know I had bipolar and before I got on medication, before rehab and everything. And you're feeling disconnected from who you used to be. I feel the same way right now. And you're comparing constantly, like every single day, every single decision you make, you're comparing it to back then, before you got diagnosed, before you were aware that you have bipolar or that you are bipolar. And you you have this kind of identity confusion. You don't know if that was you or this is you or if you're someone else entirely. And you're feeling emotionally behind. You're trying to restart perfectly. You have this all or nothing mindset. You're trying massive resets. And I'm talking something like never been to the gym and you want to go to the gym 7 days a week and you want to lift weights every day, you want to do cardio every day, and you want to sleep on time, all of these things. It's like a massive reset all at once. And you have unrealistic fucking expectations. Like you have so high expectations that it's humanly impossible to make them happen. And you have these burnout cycles because of that. Because if you do it normally, like even whether you have bipolar or not, if you build the foundation, then you build the ground floor, the first floor, the second, third, fourth, and so on. But you are trying to build the foundation and just build the fifth floor right away. So you end up burning out. And that creates bad days sometimes before the burnout happens. And one bad day destroys your momentum. Fear keeps you small. You have this fear of relapse, instability, and because of that, you're avoiding risk and expression. You're playing it safe constantly. And you always hesitate before you act. And all of this put together, ultimately, you're shrinking your life slowly but surely. All right. So if you feel like you're rebuilding from scratch right now, here's what actually helps. Stop trying to become your old self. Your old self may not fully return. Your identity evolves over time. So you should stop chasing normal. Why do I say this? Because back then, before you got diagnosed with bipolar, or before you became aware of bipolar, or before you realized that something was up with your brain and you're different from what you used to be, all you knew up until that point was your old self. So that in actuality was your normal. So you should stop chasing normal. You should rebuild from now. So you should focus on building forward, not going back to your old self. And a new version does not necessarily have to be a worse version. Rebuild structure before confidence. Confidence comes after action. Tiny routines matter. They really do. And you get stability through repetition. A wise man once said, repetition is the father of learning. So, this way, when you repeat all these tiny routines, day by day, week by week, month by month, you learn stability. And you have to build simple systems. Don't try everything, don't think everything has to be really complex. Build simple systems. And your momentum starts small. If this is hitting you, like and subscribe so this actually reaches people who need it. This story is how I rebuilt my life after I got out of rehab. And in the beginning, when I got out of rehab on Feb 3rd, 2023, I was really happy to get out of rehab because rehab felt like a fucking prison. You wake up every day at the same time, and at night, 8 p.m., they would come and lock the room that you stayed in, and they would make you eat the medicine. And of course, back then I knew I needed the medicine, but I would have rather taken it by myself. So that's a different thing. And when I got out in the beginning, when I was staying in my mom's house, the doctor advised her to give me the medicine by hand every night because I had only one dose. And that really pissed me off because already I was very disconnected and everything about my life was uncertain and I was very less confident compared to what I was in the manic phase, the high state. I was super confident, super energetic, but here I became a total introvert, not talking to anybody. And at that moment, when my mom was giving me the medicine, the tablet every night, I was getting pissed because why is she giving me this medicine every day? I know I need to take it. Why don't I take it myself? So that was, I believe, in my mind, my first decision to take care of my medicine, my medication myself. But it was up to the doctor, and of course, I didn't have a routine, I didn't have anything from the full super packed routine of the rehab to coming home and not having a routine at all and being able to sleep at even 9, 10, 11 as compared to 8 p.m. when I was at rehab. So that was a disconnect right there. And why did I feel very uncertain about my life? Because my whole life I thought that I was this overly extroverted, high energy person, and I thought that was me, but that was not me because as I learned, that was a symptom of the manic phase, the high state. So, what did I do? I I started to understand that I need to do something to change things. So the only routine I had at the time was the post care with my psychiatrist once a month, with my counselor twice a month on a video call. And because my house was about 5 kilometers away from the rehab, so I would go and meet the doctor that once a month, that meeting. I would go physically to the rehab place and meet the doctor, the psychiatrist over there. So that was part of the routine, the tiny routine that I spoke about, right? And the structure that I had every month, once a month, I had to go and meet him. And on the video call on my laptop, my MacBook, I used to have the video call with my counselor twice a month and my clinical psychologist twice a month. So that was the smallest thing that I was doing every single month, no matter what. It is because it was for my mental health. And that really helped me. Back then, I didn't think it helped, to be honest. But now, looking back 3.5 years later, after coming out of rehab, I am fucking amazing and I'm so fucking grateful because of the rehab, the counselor, the psychiatrist, the clinical psychologist. All of them, their names are Dr. Vishal Kassal from Kadaboms, Nitin, I don't know his last name, and Radhika Sahal, I guess that's her last name. That's the clinical psychologist. The counselor was Nitin. He still is my counselor. We still talk once. The same, like I said, twice for the counselor, twice for the clinical psychologist, and once for the psychiatrist. But since I moved out of Bangalore, I have come to Coorg right now. Here I'm living alone. So yeah, this is how good it can get, even for you. Because when I started, I was living with my mom, and then she was going to work every day because she's the chief of admissions in the college. So she asked me to move to Cool at that moment in time, 2023, to stay in my uncle's house because there are some people around, so I can have people to communicate with and just have people around me instead of just sitting idle and looking at the wall all day. So I came to Coorg. I stayed with my uncle and his family. It was good, and I spoke to some people, the people at home, about five people at home every day, compared to no one when mom used to go to work. So that was really good because people around me gave me something to talk about, even though everyone didn't really understand what was going on. Here in India, mental health is not so, not, I don't think that much importance is given to it. Maybe nowadays it's being given, but back in the day, I don't think so. And not many people know anything about mental health. The people, the only reason my mom knows is because it happened to me. The manic phase, the erratic behavior, the crazy excessive talk, and the no sleeping, all of that. So I believe that India needs a little more awareness education on mental health and disorders. But yeah, we're talking about the routine, right? The structure I built. So the only thing I had was these five meetings with my psychiatrist, my clinical psychologist, two of them, and two of them with my counselor. And one day my counselor said, Brian, why don't you build a routine and tell me what you'll do? So believe it or not, I had no idea what I was going to do with my life. Everything was uncertain. I didn't know if I would get a job, if anyone would hire someone in India, like, oh, you have a mental disorder, I'm not going to hire you. I was really frustrated. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what to do. So I just stayed in my uncle's house, and my mom was paying my bills and everything. So everything was okay at the time. And to be honest, I just wanted to take care of my mental health because I would not wish a manic phase even on my worst enemy. So that's where it was. And then because my mom was going to open a cafe at the time, so my aunt, she told me, hey, why don't you join this company? This as a barista, there's an ad in the paper. So then I applied for the interview on the phone. I got the interview. I met the owner. I got the interview. I got the job. I went for the interview. I got the job. And then the crazy part was every morning for 3 months, every morning I would wake up at the same time around 6 a.m., get ready and take a bath and everything and leave the house by 7 because I got to be there by 8. I would do that every morning, do the whole work during that barista thing. And in the evening, I would leave around 8 p.m. from there, from 30 kilometers away, and take a bus and come back to my uncle's house. So that was also part of the routine. And even though that paid me only around 150 or $160, $164 a month. So in Indian rupees, it was 10,000 rupees. That was nothing compared to what I was earning in my previous jobs. So I didn't care about the money. I just wanted to get my confidence back because I was very less confident. I had kept my phone off for over a year and a half. I didn't talk to anyone for a year. Only when people spoke to me, I would speak to them. I would never go up to anyone and talk to them. So the crazy part here is I went every day to that coffee experience center it was, and I was a barista there. I went every day by bus, 30 kilometers in the morning, 30 kilometers in the night. And here's the best part. That place did not have any kind of footfall, and it was very bad. The owner didn't do any marketing. And since I had done some freelancing before, and I suggested to the guy, man, you should do some marketing. And he said, no, I don't need social media marketing. I have Google. And I was like, dude, this is not going to work. I need to learn marketing so I can help my mom's cafe when it comes up. So I made the decision. So my confidence came back a little by little as I worked every day in the real world. And eventually, after 3 months, I got the courage to tell my mom, I didn't ask her. I said, Mom, I don't think I can do this. I want to build a business as a social media manager and a marketer. Can you help me? That's what I asked her. Can you help me? She said, yeah, I'll help you. And ever since then, I got out, I built my business. And even while building the business, I wasn't so confident. And I built my confidence little by little, tiny routines. And in one of the old videos, I said you got to have a minimum action, even on bad days, like a bad day system. So, my bad day system is my minimum action is follow every single alarm you get as best as you can. So, I set 37 alarms on my phone. And because I set 37 alarms on my phone, I don't know, I was following everything, even alarms to drink water, right? So every 3 hours, I would put an alarm for drink water. I would drink water no matter what. So that was a minimum action. Wake up, go to bed, eat breakfast, lunch, dinner, whatever. And also, all these tiny routines, they all started stacking. And because they started stacking, it all became a cumulative effect. And now I'm building my second business. And because of this, my second business is also to help not just people with bipolar, to help everybody get more confident on camera and post their first talking video, like a reel or a story, in 24 hours. From zero videos posted to 24 hours. I'm currently building that digital product right now. And I'm also building my Instagram marketing for US fitness and nutrition coaches at the same time. And I'm so happy because compared to then, I've come leaps and bounds. And I asked my mom to just rate me the other day for when I came out of rehab and now. So when I came out of rehab, she said 5 out of 100, and now she said like around 90 out of 100. So that's how much I've leveled up. And I'm so happy because of that. And I'm sure you can rebuild as well. Focus on consistency, not intensity. You got to avoid huge emotional swings. Sustainable effort wins over everything. And bad day systems matter. Trust me, more than you think. You got to show up even if you're showing up imperfectly. And small wins rebuild trust. Give yourself permission to rebuild slowly. Recovery is non-linear. Progress feels really fucking invisible initially. And you have to stop comparing timelines. Don't compare to my timeline, to your parents' timeline, to your family's timeline, to your friends' timeline. You should not compare timelines at all. You got to have lots of emotional patience. What do I mean by this? You got to be patient with your emotions. Like, whatever emotion you get, do not take it at face value. Like, let it sit, process it, and then react. Don't react immediately. And remember, rebuilding takes time. Here's a shift for you. Rebuilding your life doesn't happen in one big moment. It happens through small, repeated actions. And remember, you don't rebuild your life by becoming who you were. You rebuild it by becoming someone stronger and more aware. Thank you so much for watching.